Jó reggelt kívánok! Hogy vagy? Jó? Boy, it is it's a tough act to follow. Hmm, yesterday's show. You know what? Boy, I cried like a baby. I don't remember the last time that I cried like that. And thinking about it all day yesterday, you know, thinking about it, I kept the recurring thought that was going through my mind was, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Was it suppressed? Was it suppressed emotions? That have been harboring inside of me for the last couple of years. Was it just exhaustion? Was it a combination of both? Where did all that come from? And I'd be curious to know, when was the last time you cried? When was the last time you cried? When was the last time you cried in front of another person? That's one of the books or one of the questions from the Book of Questions. When was the last time you cried? And yesterday I woke up and I don't know why, but I was just rather emotional. I was exhausted. I was just physically and mentally exhausted, having spent 30 hours in a 48-hour period stroking a brush, and moving furniture and scrubbing floors and all that kind of stuff. I was just exhausted. It was a good exhaustion, though. It really was a good exhaustion, but it was nice. I got to tell you, it was nice sharing those thoughts of my dad. I don't know if I articulated them as well as I as they were going through my mind, hmm, but I tried to. But Anyway, my dad. An interesting thing about my dad. I don't know if I elaborated on this yesterday or not. My dad was my dad was a for most of my life, right up until that time that I talked about yesterday, of him standing in the driveway watching me go down the street after having spent the summer fixing his house. Uh, my dad was really void of a lot of emotion. He wouldn't just all through my childhood and adolescence. My dad was a rather subdued man. He wasn't quick to express his emotions. He was more of a quiet man that I think internalized a lot of stuff. And somewhere along the line, such as, when my brother said, that's the first time I ever saw Dad cry. Somewhere along the line, my dad changed, or something, and he just slowly started to blossom into the man so many of you came to know through my videos. And I watched that transformation over the last 25 years of his life. He died when he was 89. And that transformation actually started when he was probably in his early 60s. And he just right in front of our eyes, he just became this just loving, wonderful, easygoing, never speak ill of another man type of guy. And I always appreciated that. I always appreciated that about him. He didn't let things get the better of him. He was just a wonderful, wonderful man. And to, I would think that, I've never had a son before, or a child for that matter, but I would think that, to have a son, and that son just love and adore you so much that he wanted to be like you, would probably be the greatest probably be the greatest reward that you could get, as far there I go with the, sorry, Phil, poor Phil, poor Phil up in Michigan, unless he's traveling right now. But poor Phil, he pointed out that I say too much, so I'm trying to help myself with that. Hmm. But anyway, there I go again. That's hard, when you try to break a habit. I just said it again, I believe. When you try to break a habit, it's really tough, especially one like that. But we will see. We will see how I do. But with my dad, as I grow older, I hope, I hope that I can be just half the man that he was. And if I can live as long as my dad did, then I'll be a happy guy. So anyway, the I was talking with somebody the other day about aging, and I'm not going to dwell on the whole aging topic, but talking about somebody that talking with somebody about aging and getting older, and worrying and thinking about the whole process, and having a stroke or having a heart attack or having this or having that. And we started talking about the a great how a great influencer of that is where we come from, our parents, our ancestors. Do we have a history of heart disease? Do we have a history of cancer? Do we have a history of of what have you? And I was telling this individual that I was talking with that her parents both, have led and are leading, long lives. And and I guess to some extent you can take comfort in that. If you're going through life, and you're fortunate to have good genes, so to speak, good genes, then you're fortunate in that regard. But alternatively, if you go through life and you have you know uh, a history, a family history of certain medical conditions and what have you, then I would think that going through life would be a little bit more challenging. But the uncommon denominator when it comes to genetics, the uncommon denominator oftentimes is lifestyle. You can have the best genes in the world, but if you don't live, a good lifestyle, if you don't, and probably one of the biggest things is, aside from indulgence in things like alcohol and tobacco and what have you, probably one of the biggest things that'll lead you to an early grave is stress. That's probably that's probably one of the biggest things is stress that'll lead you quicker than anything to an early grave. Hmm. Anyway, I was riding my bike yesterday. I was riding my bike yesterday, and I found myself thinking that I like doing these shows, and that's what this is. It's a show. I've reached the point where I've started when I'm talking to people, saying, "Oh, I do a daily show. I've got a morning show." Why not? I mean, why not call a spade a spade? That's what this is. It's a morning show. And as I ride my bike, out there, and I'm listening to my music, and thoughts are going through my head about various things, I find myself thinking about how I want to evolve this habit of mine of talking, on YouTube. And yesterday I was thinking that maybe rather than just rambling for 30 minutes about whatever pops in my mind, and for some of you, you might enjoy that. Some of you might enjoy the ramblings. But I thought that what might be interesting would be to really hone in the show, and on a topic. Just have a topic and talk about one single topic, not just kind of randomly randomly wander from one thought to the next to the next. Kind of like a oh, what do you call it? Kind of like the Paul Harvey show, where I think he told a story every day. The rest of the story, as a matter of fact. But anyway, we will see. Another thing that's really interesting in life. I was looking for my image today, my thumbnail for my video, and I did a search in Google Images for the little things in life, and I saw a quote. That I really appreciated, and you probably would as well. And it says, "Appreciate the little things in life, or appreciate the little things because later in life you look back and realize they were the big things." And I read that, and how true is that? You know, and there I go. Phil, I promise you, I will stop saying, all right? Just be patient with me, all right? But anyway, I was reading that. I was reading that. Appreciate the little things in life because later you'll look back and realize they were the big things. And I say that as I hold my. You see this beautiful. I'm sure some of you noticed it. Some of you are very astute when it comes to observing. You look to see what's new in my kitchen, and if I put something, something whatever. But this coffee cup here, this china, is from Hulu Holohaza. Holohaza. Hollo Haza. I know Haza is house, but Holohaza. And this was brought over as a gift to me from a friend that came to visit me from Hungary. And it's just a small little coffee cup. But I can't look at it without thinking about her. I just can't look at it without thinking about her. This as well was given to me by somebody who's probably watching this video or will watch this video. This was given to me, and it's a very simple little ceramic piece. There's nothing big about this, nothing magnificent about this, nothing spectacular about this. But it's a memory. It's a memory. It's something that reminds me of this person. And I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait later in life. I don't have to wait later in life to realize that it's the little things that are the most important. And speaking of little things, it's interesting. It's interesting how, here I go rambling again. It's interesting how other people's thoughts or other people's comments can steer the course of your life. Sometimes even a littlest comment. It's kind of like a rudder on a ship. That your life is the ship, going through the sea of life. And somebody's comment, observation, and this can go either way, good or bad, can just move that rudder just a little bit in one or the other direction. And it can take your life on an entirely different course. And that's why oftentimes I'm very careful and selective with what I might say to another person. But anyway, so I was talking to Oksana the, the other day. I was talking with Oksana the other day, chatting with her, I should say. Chatting with Oksana the other day, and she was very, very assertive in pleading with me not to get artificial plants. Don't get artificial plants. And as I started to give that thought, I started thinking, does that mean that I'm going to go out and get a household of big palms and big, potted plants and all that kind of stuff? And I'm thinking I don't necessarily want to do that because I travel. I travel a lot. And now if I have these big plants, if I have these big plants, then I have to worry about finding somebody to come over and water my plants. I went through that before. It's not the I got to stop that. It's not the easiest. It's good that I'm catching myself when I say it though. That is the beginning of correcting the problem. That's the beginning of correcting the problem. But anyway, um, I've been through that before, having to find people to come over and water my plants. Who wants to do that? It's always great having friends that you can count on and what have you. But to impose on them and say, "Would you come over and water my plants every week? Would you send me pictures and show me how my fern is doing? I want to see, is my palm, did that plant start to bloom yet? It's just an imposition on others, and I don't like to be an imposition on others when I don't have to. So the other day when Oksana asked me, or pleaded with me not to go the route of artificial plants, I was a little bit caught between what to do. And then later in the day, she texted me an image or a link to these honeycomb shelves to mount on my wall. And I looked at it, and there was a picture just of the shelf by itself. And then there were a series of pictures. I noticed that there were a series of pictures of this honeycomb shelving unit. And as soon as I flipped to the next picture, I saw it. The cutest little plants. Just beautiful, beautiful little plants. And I thought, that looks great. That looks beautiful. And that's kind of sent me down a trail of, it sent me down a trail of exploration into little plants. I actually went out shopping last night for little plants. You see, and this is artificial, and this is going back. This little plant from World Market for $9.99. This is going back. And this morning I woke up and I was shopping on Amazon. Been doing a lot of shopping lately. This morning I woke up and I was shopping on Amazon. And in doing so, there's probably nothing you can't buy on Amazon. It's amazing. And I bought myself a series of these little plants. I'm having these. I think I'm having a set of, I'm having 4 little ferns be sent to me, and I'm having, I think, a variety of 6 different succulents sent to me, and I'm having some cute little white pots of varying sizes sent to me. And if I have to travel, I can just put all my plants on a little platter and take my plants to somebody that likes plants. And then they can just, they don't have to come to my house to water the plants. I just put them on a platter or maybe a pizza pan. I don't know, one or the other. But but I'll just put them on my 12-inch round pizza pan, and take them over and say, "Would you mind watering my plants?" Something like that. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. And in addition to the plants, I'm going to get just some little knickknacks. Just little tiny things. Nothing. Yesterday when I showed you the wall, the finished product, so to speak, um, of the shelves, the honeycomb shelves on the wall. I showed you that I had all these little knickknacks or little travel mementos up there, and that looked a little bit tacky, but anyway. So my plants will start to arrive. My rug will arrive on Friday, and and my little plants will arrive on Friday. So anyway, I got I went the route of Skip Smith yesterday, and I got a PO box. And if you go to my YouTube channel, and you click on the about, I updated my description. If anybody out there wants to help me with a good description for my YouTube channel, a YouTube channel is supposed to say what your channel is about, and I didn't give it a whole heck of a lot of thought yesterday. But if there's anybody out there that has some good writing skills, and you want to do me a favor, and a lot of you know me pretty well. You want to write a short intro for my YouTube channel, boy, I sure would appreciate it. But no, I went out and I got a PO box. I got a post office box, and I ordered it for 3 months. I think Skip Smith always gets stuff. I think he's always getting stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But if any of you want to send a card or a little something, so to speak, then please feel free to use that address. But anyway, so that's about it. That's about it for the thoughts for the day. I'm gonna get on with my bike ride. Today is Tuesday, which means it's Taco Tuesday ride, and I'm going to forego the night ride because I like the cool mornings, just as the sun is coming up, being out there on the road. And there's something also to be said. It's all well and good to ride with a group, but there's also something to be said about being out there alone with your thoughts and not just watching a blinking light in front of you as you ride along in a group of 15 or 20. But anyway, Alexa, let's play Jeopardy.
This is Jeopardy! And now, here is your host, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny, and welcome, players. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for joining us again. Here are the clues for today.
Our first category is Fireboats of Boston. Massport Fireboats, protect this Boston International Airport.
What is Logan?
Excellent. Your second Jeopardy category is Author's Fictional Places. Middle-earth is a land created by this fantasy novelist.
I don't know.
The correct response was Who is J.R.R. Tolkien? The third Jeopardy category is So Yummy They Named It Twice. This fruit, that sort of looks like a stubby banana, has a double talk name.
I don't know.
The correct response was What is Pawpaw? Our next category is Vocabulary Test. The response starts with V, O. This word is often paired with null to mean not valid.
What is void?
You're right. The next Jeopardy category is historical hodgepodge. In 1820, this era of good feelings president effectively ran unopposed in winning re-election.
Who is Andrew Jackson?
No, that's incorrect. The correct response was who is James Monroe. Your final category is basketball. Pick and roll. This NBA sharpshooter played highly touted prospect Jesus Shuttlesworth in Spike Lee's He Got Game.
Who is James Curry?
That's not it. The correct response was who is Ray Allen. You can play more clues every day with a Jeopardy subscription.
Would you like to learn more?
No, thank you. Thank you, Mike. 14,000.
All right. Let's see how you did on this set.
You scored 2 out of 6.
2 out of 6. Instead of answering the questions I don't know, I'm just going to start answering them I suck. Something like that. But anyway, no, so Mike just made a comment congratulating me on 14,000 subscribers. And I think how many views? 10 million views or something like that. But isn't it, you think about that and it just really blows your mind. Sometimes I'll look at my statistics on my channel and it just blows my mind. I think that's what he said, 10 million views or something. My videos have been watched, millions and millions of times. I got an email message yesterday from somebody who looked me up on Facebook, who's been watching Tom TV. She's from Australia. She's Hungarian. And she sent me a message. She was so grateful for my videos on Budapest and Hungary because she said she'll probably never make it there, but my videos have taken her to places that she'll probably never ever have the chance to visit. And she was really, really, really grateful for that. And that's just one of the really most wonderful things about doing the videos, the reward that others get from it. It's through giving that we receive. I once heard that. It's through giving that we receive. So anyway, with all that said, I need to get on with my day. Alexa, what's the weather in Fort Myers? No, I turned down the volume.
Skies. Today's forecast has partly sunny weather with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 51 degrees.
77 and 51 today. Boy, isn't that nice? You can't beat the winters here, I'm telling you. No rain and highs in the mid 70s to low 80s. And just very nice, cool mornings. You just can't beat the winters here. I'm getting a new toy, by the way. I ordered a new toy, a big ticket item. I ordered a big ticket item, and this big ticket item has Alexa. This big ticket item has Alexa, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I was sitting there last night. Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't watch 60 Minutes, go and watch this last Sunday's 60 Minutes episode. And they had, the lead story was about the red gun laws. You can watch that or not. But the second story was amazing, just amazing. It was about this deposit of these minerals somewhere between America and Hawaii out in the international waters. And how there's enough of these minerals out there to be able to, you can mine these and make car batteries for like 100, I don't know how many, 150 million car batteries or something like that for cars. it was a fascinating story, absolutely a fascinating story. And the U.S. is dragging their feet. The U.S. is dragging their feet primarily. Now, primarily, it's Republicans. There's like all these Republicans that don't want to come under like UN rule, so to speak, or something like that. It's political. But what a fascinating story. If you haven't seen the 60 Minutes story, you can find that online. But just absolutely fascinating. So anyway, time to get on with my day and let you all do the same. Thanks for your support and comments yesterday, and have a great day. All right, take good care.